Hey, how the fuck are you? I probably care you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 106 of the kPodcast. We got kPodcast alumni in the building. Returning guest, A.C.T.
What up, y'all? What up, y'all? How y'all doing? How you doing, man? Everything good?
Yeah, brother.
All right.
So, if you guys don't remember, episode 97, we had the Innovators Music Group on the pod, which, I mean, I've done shows with you guys for years now. I've actually known you the longest, which we're going to get into in a second. But A.C.T. is returning as a solo artist today to promote his new project. You want to talk? Let's talk about the project first.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for having me today. Greatly appreciate it as always. So my new project is called Unapologetic.
Unapologetic.
As of the recording of this episode, it has not been released yet. We do not have an official release date, but it is coming soon. And when I say soon, I mean sooner than you think. So just a little bit about this project. Every time I create a project, it always has some meaning behind the title, if you will. This is my, I'm trying to think, make sure I get the numbers right. This is my 7th project.
Dang,
right. 7th project. Right. Oh my gosh. My 7th project and my 3rd EP overall, solo wise.
Okay.
And this project just focuses on really just me being authentically me, not really caring what other people think, not really caring about what other people say. Because I think a lot of times in life,
unapologetic.
Right. Exactly. You know, because it's like a lot of times people, they're like, you know, we focus too much on how people feel about us, but do we focus enough on how we feel about ourselves?
Right.
So, yeah, coming soon. I'm really excited. Shout out to Des Navigator, Jules on the beat, aka the Gemini Project. All beats were created by the Gemini Project. Every single one of them. Jules on the beats, Des Navigator. Normally we have a mixture of beats and whatnot. Nope, it was all these guys. Des came up with a concept a little while back ago. He said, hey, what do you think about a Gemini and A.C.T. project? And we were kind of just joking around, hinting about it. And then
why not, right?
Right. We talked to Jules. Jules was like, run it. And from there, the rest was history. So they sent me the beats. He had, like, Jules had these batch of beats that he sent me. Des, he always is sending us stuff because we're always just writing and focusing on new material. Well, by the way, shout out to the Innovators Music Group. You see.
Shout out to Innovators. So
activity,
you guys remember Des is a member of the Innovators with A.C.T.
Shout out to, Chin, Peas on the board, Singing Chase, the whole crew, whatnot.
Yes, sir.
Nikki G.
So Jules on the board, that's the co-member of Gemini Project with Des.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, he's not a part of the Innovators Music Group. I mean, shoot, he might as well be.
He's like the cousin.
Yeah, he's like the cousin. but he is definitely one half of the Gemini Project. By the way, the Gemini Project got beats on Instagram. Check them out on all streaming platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, you name it, Bandcamp. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about this project. Anytime I come out with a new EP every about 2-3 years.
Okay.
So this is going to be really, really dope. I've kind of explored some new sounds, if you will, while also still staying true to the typical, as Lathan would say, A.C.T. sound, whatever that means.
No, yeah. You do have a very distinct voice and your own sound. I like to think of the Innovators kind of like Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
And I would say you're maybe like Ghostface.
Oh, hey, that's a compliment. I appreciate it.
You know what I mean?
Like Ghostface is one of my favorite members. So
very distinct voice. Anytime as soon as you start rapping, everyone in the room knows who the fuck is rapping.
Yeah, like that's Marcus. Oh, that's A.C.T. Yeah. So yeah, overall, like I said, when it does release, I will let you guys know. Who knows? Maybe by the time this episode comes out, it'll be out. Who knows?
How many tracks?
There's going to be a total of Des, correct me if you see this and I'm wrong. I believe this.
You got to know how many tracks on your
You mind
project.
looking for a sec?
I need some Jeopardy music. Cue the Jeopardy music.
Let's see. Oh, my phone is trash. I need a new phone. It's about to shut off automatically. It's about, I believe, 8 tracks on it. It's either 8 or 9 tracks, somewhere around there.
I was gonna say ballpark.
If I'm wrong, guys, charge to my head, not my heart.
Maybe a bonus track, you know?
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be a bonus track. It's definitely gonna be a bonus track. So I'm gonna say roughly about 8 or 9 tracks. So the project will be roughly around maybe 20, 25 minutes the most. It's not gonna be a long project at all.
Okay.
But it's definitely gonna be worthy of a listen.
But if it's 8 or 9 tracks, technically it's considered an LP or an album versus an EP, I believe, right?
True. Well, yeah, that
or
is true.
Is it based on tracks or based on the time of the project? I can't remember. It might be.
Correct me if I'm
time.
wrong. I think it's time.
It might be based on time.
Yeah, because I've seen some EPs that have like 7, 8 tracks, but that jump be like 19, 20 minutes.
Right.
And it's like, well, can you call it an LP?
So it maybe the cutoff is 30 minutes or like 45 or something.
I'm gonna do some research on that.
Yeah, we can look it up right now.
Yeah, because you think you would think.
Keep talking about the project though while I look this up.
Yeah, you would think that I would know that, but the project has it's typical. You got your brag rapping on there a little bit. You got your A.C.T love songs. Actually, I think I only have one actual love track on there, and then I have what else? I don't have any political tracks. I really don't make too many political tracks. To be honest.
I try to usually shy away.
I try to be neutral with that.
Right.
But I think the tracks really focus. Hey, buddy. I think the tracks really, really do a good job, or the album EP. Lord help me.
Right.
It really does a good job on focusing on like just the time period of my life. You know, I'm currently 33 years old as the recording of this, and I'm learning to just walk into my own path. You know, trying to find myself, rediscover who I am, and really just focus on building a better me, if you will. Ain't that right? Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's the mission of life, right? So, yeah, the main difference between an EP extended play and LP long play is their length.
Okay.
An EP is a shorter half-length album with 4 to 6 tracks and a runtime of about 15 to 22 minutes. Though it can be up to 30 minutes.
Okay.
EPs are often used as promotional tools to give a taste of an artist's style or introduce new concepts. An LP is a full-length album with 7 to 29 tracks and a runtime of about 35 to 60 minutes. LPs are suited for more comprehensive musical explorations. So yeah, it is time.
So I guess it's weird. Well, I guess I had to time my tracks to see how long they are. Because I don't
in totality, I guess, right?
Yeah, because I'm thinking. So then, what do you call a project that doesn't fit the LP length but has more than 4 to 6 tracks on the project?
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
I gotta figure that out.
You might
my
have
goodness.
Created a new category.
LEP.
LE,
or ELP.
Special play.
Right, exactly. Oh my goodness. I gotta, because I know for sure my last project, Uncharted, that had that had 7 tracks on it. But that project was literally maybe 20 minutes at that. So that was definitely an EP.
Yeah.
So this one, yeah, I gotta think on that. I'm glad you looked it up, because now I'm sitting here. All right, what do we call it, Des? We calling it the EP or LP? What's it gonna be?
No, yeah, man. You know, we got to get to the bottom of these things here on the kPodcast, man. I did want to ask you though, because ACT is an acronym, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've ever asked you before what the meaning behind that is.
So ACT, before I give you the meaning, ACT, the acronym has changed 1,000,001 times.
Okay.
Like right now, it's Act of the Party, Center of Attention, Tribute to Hip Hop.
Okay.
Of course, Act of the Party meaning, I'm the life of the party. I'm the one that set it off. Like, MCs. Like MC means move the crowd. And I've always been that type of person. Center of Attention, meaning that all eyes on me. So like you mentioned earlier, like when I get on the microphone, I have a very distinctive voice, and people recognize who I am, or if they don't recognize who I am, they, I've been told I have a radio like personality voice, which I didn't really see it until a couple years ago, until I started making more content creations. And then I realized, oh, okay, I kind of see what people are talking about.
Yeah.
And then tribute to hip hop, because everything I do when it comes to music, first of all, shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because, you know, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. So I already got to put him on Front Street. But, you know, next up after God himself is, you know, knowing that what I do is for hip hop. You know, it's for the culture of hip hop, for the many other artists that have come before me, producers, individuals that have laid the groundwork. DJ Kool Herc, starting with him, obviously, is the founder of hip hop. A little bit of history lesson for you. DJ Coke LaRock, and then just kind of, you know, moving forward and going from there. So, yeah.
Well, that just reminded me. Before we get into, so you're a teacher.
Yep.
You were telling me about your hip hop class earlier, which we'll get into in a second.
Okay.
What I didn't tell you out there was, I actually took a hip hop class also for one semester when I went to UCF. You know what I mean? Shout out Knights.
Hey, go Knights, charge on.
It was crazy because the class that I took, it was the first time that class had been taught at the university.
Okay.
It might have been the last, low key, actually.
Sadly, probably so.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
to your point, it was more so about the history of hip hop. I still have the books out there on my bookshelf. You know what I mean? The Big Payback.
Oh, snap.
There's a couple of them out there, and it talks about DJ Kool Herc.
Mm-hmm.
You know, breaking culture, all the shit from New York City that created this shit that we now call hip hop.
Yeah.
And you know what it is now is still hip hop, but like I fell in love with that shit. You know what I mean? I feel like I would assume you're the same way, and I feel like that's why I love your guys' shows so much.
Yeah.
But like I was saying when we first started, before I saw the Innovators, or I don't even know if the Innovators was a thing at the time, I saw you fucking short hair A.C.T. fucking
Before the locks.
right.
Oh, my God.
Like years ago, bro, back in, you know, open mics and shit.
And that was what, around, I want to say 2018, 19-ish, somewhere around there.
It might
right?
have even been before that.
Dang, has it been that? God.
It might have
darn.
been, I mean, it was probably 2017, 2018-ish.
Probably so, because I was hitting open mics up like crazy.
Right.
around then.
But like we said, I mean, short hair.
Yep.
But like I was saying earlier, because I saw you a couple of times and I remembered you every time because of your voice.
Yeah.
Like you would get up there and rap and you're always jumping around like very theatrical. And I'm like, I fuck with this dude.
I appreciate it, man.
But I think I might have asked you on the other episode with the guys, do you have a preference between the solo and the group?
So, believe it or not, I don't have a preference. A lot of people,
As long as you're creating.
yeah, I think that's my biggest thing. A lot of people, they think that. So, to give you guys a little bit of a history lesson about myself, I have been rapping since I was 11 years old. I mean, my first song was called Rocket the Night. And I only remember this one part. You see me dancing at the stage when I hit the arcade. Yo, come along. Yo, the song has just begun. That's all I remember. I don't remember nothing else about that. But I do remember that, writing that rap after the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, seeing Lil Romeo perform, which he was my inspiration at the time for
Lil
rapping.
Romeo.
So, shout out to Romeo Miller.
Word.
I know some people gonna be like, what?
Nah, when I was 11 years old, I fucked with Lil Romeo.
Yeah, because, you know, we were kids saying like, oh, snap, he can do it, so we
Right.
can do it too.
Fun fact, my first CD ever was Lil Bow Wow, Beware of Dog.
See what I mean? So, hey, shout out to Bow Wow and Romeo and all the young rappers.
Right.
Because, hey, look, y'all the reason why we doing what we doing. I'm just saying.
Right.
But I had been a solo artist for about, because I didn't meet the Innovators Music Group until we all went to Bethune-Cookman University together.
Right,
we talked about
exactly.
that on a podcast as well, the last episode 96. And so I've been a solo artist for years. Actually, when I met those boys, I already had a mixtape out.
Right.
I released my first mixtape when I was 17 years old. I was a senior in high school. I remember just passing them out to my classmates, passing them out on the corner, just going to different areas in Baltimore and saying, hey, would you like to check out my mixtape? And they'd be like, nah, no thanks. I'm like, nah, it's free.
Yeah.
Oh, word? And
yeah, exactly.
You know, people would hit me up on MySpace telling me what they thought. You know, some people liked
yeah.
it. Some people said it was trash. You know, comes along with the territory.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't have a preference with solo versus group. As long as, like you said, I'm creating. I think when it comes to the creative process more so, I'd rather have my boys around me because it's just something that happens. The magic really develops when we're together.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's what I was thinking too, because with the group you got like Dez producing and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're by yourself, I guess you either have to hit up someone like Dez or Jules, or you like do YouTube beats, or what do you normally do if you're doing solo?
Well, to be honest, a lot of times I just write. Sometimes I'll write and I don't even have a beat to write to. It'll just be something to write to.
Right.
Like, you know, no pun intended on one of my songs, by the way. I just thought about that. But yeah, it's just kind of whatever comes to mind. I also do spoken word.
Right.
So if I have an idea and it just comes to mind, I just write about it. Now, sometimes I'll look at YouTube beats. Like, I think, for example, it's a song by Ludacris called Spur of the Moment, Ludacris and DJ Quick. And it has like this West Coast vibe to it, if you will. And I woke up randomly one day and just started writing to it. And then sometimes I'll just, you know, I'll say, okay, I'll write one verse. And then next thing you know, 4 verses later, I got a whole song.
Mm-hmm.
So,
just depends.
yeah, it just kind of depends on how I'm feeling.
Well, do you consider it like poetry? Did you like writing like poetry or anything, or literature growing up?
So, yes, I started off, of course, writing raps. Before I even wrote my first poem, I was writing raps. I wrote my first poem when I was 13 years old. And the poem was called I Love You, and it was dedicated to my family. Again, don't remember what went in the poem. I don't think you ever really remember, for the most part, what it was about. You remember what it was about. You don't remember the lyrics or the words when you're that young, but you always remember what it was about. But it was called I Love You, and it was about my family, just my love for my family and appreciation. But yeah, I've been writing raps before I started doing spoken word. And I kind of just dibbled and dabbled, and I still mostly rap more than I do spoken word, but okay. I think my spoken word is a little bit more serious now, if you will. But I grew up loving poetry. I love poetry since I was a kid, watching poets on TV, learning about poets in school. I was always that weird kid that loved poets like, you know, Shakespeare, Edgar Allan Poe, and things like that. And people were like, "You weird," and I'm like, I mean, it's a part of the art form. You know, you got to respect
it. Maybe I just appreciate art.
That part, right. What if I just appreciate art? I can't just appreciate art? Just saying.
But no, we kind of got off track about your hip hop class.
Oh, yeah. So the hip hop class. Okay, cool. So before I talk about the hip hop class, I am a teacher. I teach at Cypress Creek High School. I've been teaching, shout out to Go Bears, Bear Country, whatever you want to call it. Bear Pride. I said Bear Country, Bear Pride. I have been teaching for a total of 8 years in Orange County Public Schools. I'm at that point in my life where it's almost time to escape, because if you teach past 10 years, you're pretty much stuck. But anyways, this is my first semester ever teaching a hip hop and literature course. My assistant
That's
principal,
the title of the course, hip hop literature.
Hip hop through literature.
Hip hop through literature.
My assistant principal approached me last semester and said, "Hey, Frazier, how would you feel about teaching a hip hop and literature course?" I said, "Heck yeah!" You already
knowing
know
that you're a hip hop artist.
Yes.
Okay.
So he knows I'm a hip hop artist, and I think he got word from my kids from last year that I was teaching a unit on hip hop, because I told him, I said, "Look, the fourth quarter we're gonna do we're gonna do something really fun. We're gonna do a hip hop unit." The kids were like, "Whoa!" And I'm like, "Yeah, You know, I'm a hip hop artist.
Welcome to my class,
right? Like, you know, I'm a hip hop artist. I'm an MC. I DJ for fun, of course, not on a serious note." And yeah, so he approached me by it and got the details. We kind of got off to a late start because it was just some things that were happening at schools, a lot of new counselors and getting schedules situated. But nonetheless, basically the class, it talks about the origins of hip hop through literature. So we read different articles. I show them different videos. We talk about the origins of hip hop. Like, literally, a lot of people don't realize this. The origins of hip hop weren't really in New York. The origins of hip hop are from Jamaica.
That's where Kool Herc's from, right?
Yep, that's exactly where DJ Kool Herc is from. Right. He came to New York in hope I'm getting my years right. Fact check me if I'm wrong. 1968. I believe that's when he moved. I think he was 12 at the time, if I'm not mistaken. Hope I'm getting my ages right. But I should know this stuff. But yeah, we talk about that. We talked about East Coast rap. We've talked about West Coast. Right now we're talking about Midwest. Unfortunately, I just found out that this is a semester course. I thought it was a year-long course, so I'm extremely disappointed because I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to dive deep into all the, we was going to talk about rap in the South, international rap, and, so, but yeah, basically the class is really just about getting students to understand hip-hop's origins, and just having an appreciation for all art forms of hip hop. Because I think we have a habit, because, as humans, we're creatures of habit, listening to the same thing over and over again, but not truly knowing about the art form. So if my students can understand and have an appreciation of the art form, by the time they leave my class, then I'm good. Like basically, I asked all my students at the beginning of the semester, I said, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well versed are you on hip hop? If you tell me you're a 2 out of 10, and then you leave my class and you're a 6 out of 10, I did my job.
Right. Well, I know, you know who Mickey Fax is, obviously.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So he has that Pendulum Ink, which is, to my understanding, it's like a hip hop school.
Yeah.
But I think it's more, don't quote me on this, but I think it's more like about technique of rapping, like how to structure specific rhyme schemes and things like that. I don't know. I'm sure they teach some sort of historical stuff about the art form, I've never attended a course, so I don't know that personally, but just from what I've seen on, the promo shit. But it's dope that it's making its way into education, because when you really look at some lyrics, depending on what artist you're looking at, it is literature. I mean, it's I'm sure Hove, Nas, all these people have compared themselves to Shakespeare and shit like that. And who's to say, I mean, when did Shakespeare live? I don't even know.
1600s.
I was going to say something like that. So who's to say a couple hundred years from now, people don't look back at these lyrics or whatever. And it's, there's a hip hop museum. So this shit's already in museums, I don't know.
And there's so much to explore when you think about hip hop. And you mentioned that you had it for a semester, and I'm pretty sure even in that semester at a collegiate level was not enough time to be, teaching. I mean, it's just so much in hip hop culture. You cannot possibly, even in a year, you can't cover everything.
Right. Well, no, and that's what's cool, because even just within this, we've pretty much touched on 3 different things. So yours is more through literature. Yeah. The Pendulum Ink seems like it's more through like the craftsmanship of the art. And then the study, or the class that I took, it was considered an African American studies course. Right. So it was more traditional, like the history, studying the history of this culture.
And that's what I and believe it or not, I wanted to get into. Now I know this might have been kind of crazy, but I wanted to get into all 3 in some form of fashion.
Right.
But again, it's just,
you can't do that one semester. You probably can't even do that in 1 year.
You can't do that in a year.
Right.
That has to be like a 2-3 year course, and they ain't offering it. But I have a goal in mind as far as education. This is side note, but not really a side note. By the year 2045, I want to create a hip hop curriculum that's going to go nationwide. If you talk to me about what my end goal with education is, that would be my end goal. Okay. Just because I'm so passionate about hip hop.
You gotta link up with KRS-One.
I know, right? The teacher. I gotta get up with him. Shout out to the teacher, by the way. Yeah. And I just want to say I thank God, because I never thought in my life, it's almost making me tear up a little bit because it's crazy. I'm teaching a hip hop course. Right. And not only that, something else I didn't mention earlier. I am building this course from the ground up, because nobody, out of all the years we've been in Orange County, has built the course and saved it in the system. So I am hoping and praying that this will continue and give kids another outlet to learn about another art form, because this is my livelihood. I'm a hip hop artist, and now I'm a hip hop teacher. I mean, I still teach English language arts, but I'm living the dream. I can't complain. I really can't.
Is it a specific grade?
So for my hip hop and literature course, it's a mixture. I have mostly seniors. I think I have a total of 14 students in my class. 11 of them are seniors, 2 of them are juniors, and 1 is a freshman. And every single one of them, well, except one because he hasn't shown up yet. But every single one of them that are currently there on the regular, they are intrigued about the class. They want to know more. I mean, of course, different levels, of course, but they ask me a whole bunch of questions. They give me suggestions. I always ask for feedback because I was very open and honest with them. I say, guys, I'm a hip hop artist, but this is my first time teaching this course.
Right.
So if there's any feedback that you guys have, let me know.
Right.
So I love it.
No, yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, I wish there was more of that, you know?
Yes.
So by you saying it's 1 semester, is it like a trial run? Like after this semester, they're not going to offer it anymore? Or it's just 1 semester and then the kids move on?
Well, the kids actually, from my understanding, and I might have the answer for this after, because I'm going to find out more information as I go in the next week, because of course I just found out some of this information today.
Right.
But as far as I know, it's like, I believe since it's an elective, it's going to be this 1 semester with this group of kids. And then the next semester, I'm going to get a new group of kids.
Okay.
Which kind of sucks a little bit because I had been teaching the class thinking that this was going to be a year-long thing. So when we were falling behind with the elements of hip-hop, I wasn't tripping because it was like, oh, I got the whole year. I'm good. I can cover this and then some. And then when I found out, I was like, oh, crap. So these first group of kids are actually going to be a trial run, if you will.
True.
Much like any time you teach a new course in the school system, you getting your feet wet and figure it out, and then you'll have it better for the next group and then the next group after that. I do hope and pray that this continues, but with the plans that I have, I think it will.
Yeah. No, I mean, hopefully, right? Especially if it generates a lot of interest with the students. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck wouldn't it? Because you said it's an elective, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been a little while since I was in high school, but
Same here.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's an elective, you know, every student has to take a certain amount of electives, right?
Right, but here's the problem with electives. There are certain classes that take precedence over others.
Right.
So obviously your ELA, your sciences, your maths, your history courses, all of those classes are going to take precedence over the electives. And a lot of it, what a lot of people don't realize is it ties into funding. There's many forms of funding in the school system. I mean, you talk about FTE, which is student counts. You talk about just funding within certain courses and whatnot, what is in demand. And a lot of it also ties, when I'm talking about the FTE counts, that ties into the number of students that are at that school, number of students that are registering. And, you know, if you don't have enough students at that school, one of the first things that they cut is they're going to cut courses.
Right.
Courses that are not needed. And then after they cut courses, of course, God forbid, they have to start cutting teachers. But they don't want to cut teachers, because you can always put that teacher somewhere else. So they're going to be looking to cut courses. So a lot of it is not just what's in high demand from the students, but it's also what the school is going to be allotted to teach based on the funding that they have. And not every school, as you know, most people may or may not know, has the same amount of funding.
Right.
So, I mean, we'll see. I hope that they offer it next year. It would be nice. Maybe instead of teaching 1 class next year, I could teach 2. But we kind of just have to see where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, you would know that if you watched Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
That's a great show.
It is. And I mean, and I know they joke around a lot in that show, but you got to remember, even with the jokes, there's always hidden meanings and truth behind it.
Right, no, for sure. The fucking janitor.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
The old guy, that dude is so funny.
Don't get me started on that.
No, yeah, that's dope, man. I definitely respect you for that, you know, shaping the minds of the youth, especially with hip hop, you know.
Trying to get them right.
Right. So you want to talk about this upcoming show we got?
Yes, of course. Innovative Activity. Nope. I lied. Live from the underground. I'm wearing an Innovative Activity shirt. Innovative Activity is more so South Florida. Let me get my bearings right. Y'all forgive me. It's been a long day. live from the underground, Grumpy's Underground.
Yep.
All right, so I'm not sure if this episode is going to be out before the show.
I'm gonna try to get it out it'll probably be right before. But.
Okay, so if it is right before the show, it is going to be November 22nd.
Right.
I'll say it again. It's going to be November 22nd. If it's after the show, still November 22nd.
November 22nd.
And make sure you come out to the next one. It is going to be at Winter Park. It's at the not club. I was about to say clubs. Bar called Grumpy's Underground off of Mills Avenue or on Mills Avenue for that matter. Let me tell y'all something real quick. Let me just go off just a little bit.
Tell them some.
So if you guys have not been to any fun open mics, hip hop spots, dope spots in general in Orlando, I would recommend that you check them out. Orlando has so much to offer in the music scene. We have so many dope artists. I mean, you're looking at two of them right now, A.C.T and kPod. I mean, just for real, we could kick it off with a show just ourselves and we just gonna rock the crowd. But
he's not lying though. Is the funny thing.
But here's the thing, it ain't just the two of us for this show.
Right.
Whenever we have Live from the Underground, which we've been doing Live from the Underground for 3 years now, we're about to slowly but surely transition to season 4. We always bring out dope artists. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, fact check me. I believe
I'm about to pull up the lineup right now.
Yeah, I believe you were one of the first artists that we've ever had. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I wasn't. I think I was on the second show.
Yeah. I mean, still close enough, you know.
Butter was on the first, and I came. I was.
Shout out to P Butter, by the way.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's an amazing show where we have so many dope artists. We have a lot of returning artists this time around. Actually, we got kPod, we got Stefan. Who else we got? I can't think of the.
Mark
right
Made. He did a show
Mark
with you guys,
Made.
right?
Yep, that's another returner.
And then has Chief Minosa performed with you guys yet?
No, he has not.
So he's a first timer, but we know he's dope.
Yep.
And then Vixie the Pixie has not
a
performed
first
with you
timer.
guys.
I mean, well, it's the first time. I'm sorry, it's the first time.
Right,
yep.
right.
So
but she's dope too. She's a singer.
Yeah, she is bananas. Oh my goodness. Yes.
This shit is bananas.
So hey, if you get that reference, you're awesome. So
and you're old like us.
Yeah. Yep. and ain't either you old like us or you got an old soul and you know old people. I'm just saying. But I mean, we give a show. It's not just a showcase.
It's not an open mic. It's not a showcase.
There's a difference. And let me clarify the difference real quick for my viewers and listeners that don't know. When you do a showcase, right, you are bringing up different artists. But the thing about it is they have a very limited amount of time. As opposed to when you're giving a concert, these artists actually have a set. Also, when you're doing a showcase versus an artist, when you're doing a showcase versus a concert, the concert more so benefits the artist than the showcase does. The showcase more so, in a lot of cases, not always,
benefits the promoters.
It benefits the promoters,
right.
And it benefits the people that are running the showcase. Give you an example. Fusion Showcase. Shout out to Fusion, by the way. The showcase, and this is, let me just put this out here. No shade, no nothing like that, but I just want to make sure this is clear so people will understand.
Right.
Fusion does have different ways that benefit artists, right? Or other showcases in general. What's another? The Orlando open mic. What's that junk called?
Basically, open mics where you have to pay to perform.
Right. And some of these showcases you don't have to pay to perform. Some of these showcases you can perform for free.
Right.
But ultimately, the biggest push is going towards the people that are in charge in the venue. But when you have a concert, a lot of concerts are directly more so supporting the artists. You know what I'm saying?
Artists get paid because it's a real show, and you might get paid because
Yep.
these dudes bring fucking gift cards and have all sorts of giveaways and games and shit.
Exactly.
Which makes it more interactive and fun.
And I always tell people, like, our concerts be on fire.
Right.
And I'm not just saying that just because I'm helping to put on the concert. Well, maybe I'm just a little bit, but like for real, it's a lot of fun. You know, you have a chance to interact with people. It's a very intimate setting. And honestly, with this show, we just want to pack the house out. So listen, right now, and I believe the tickets, you can get them for cheap right now.
Yep.
They're about
early bird special.
I believe they're about $15 at the moment. They will increase to $20 at the door. Let me say it again. They will increase to $20 at the door. So I don't know about you. I'm Mr. Cheap Frazier. I like paying for stuff for the cheap ski. Now, I'm all about branding. I'm all about making sure, you get what you pay for, which is true. But if you give me the option of a lower price versus a higher price for something that's still high quality, like the shows we produce, I'm going to pay for the lower price. Save my little $5.
Right.
And then not only that, like kPod said, you might have some people that may come out and you might get prizes. Bless you.
Thank you.
I think the last time we had a show, we gave a couple gift cards. We gave like a Chick-fil-A gift card. We gave a regular gift card for gas.
Right.
The artists get paid. They get Gatorades and waters after they're done performing. That was kind of my idea. Believe it or not, I came up with that idea because it was just like, I'm like, yo, we're going to be thirsty after the show.
It's shit like that, bro, because it's such a small thing, but it says so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not a rider, but we know we're not artists big enough that we need a fucking rider at Grumpy's. But to your point, I mean, that's not offered anywhere else.
Yeah.
You pay to get in here. You pay to get a fucking drink at the bar. You know what I mean? You're lucky to get, if you get to perform. There's a line of about 50 artists who are trying to get up here tonight and do one song. And
I'm going to be honest, that's why I don't typically do too many open mics anymore.
Not anymore, bro.
It's
you know.
Yeah.
I hate the phrase, there's levels to this shit.
It is.
But like, yeah, exactly. When you're a young, hungry artist, like you have to go through that. If you've never performed at an open mic, are you a real artist? You know what I mean?
True. Yeah,
but you do enough of them, you get your weight up, you start getting paid shows. It's like, okay, I'm gonna reserve my live performance energy for a paid show.
Although I ain't gonna hold you though, there's one open mic that I will always support no matter what. Shout out to Austin's Coffee. Wednesday open mic nights. I haven't
been there in a while. Actually, last time me and Butta went, like last year, the year before that, probably last year, there was like nobody there, bro.
Was it an open mic night or?
Yeah.
It might have been one of those
just off
random
night,
nights.
I guess.
Right, because I was about to say, because they normally, shout out to Arjun, by the way. He's the one that runs the Wednesday open mic, I think called Wednesday open night words or something like that. Something like that. But
yeah, shout out to Austin's for sure.
Yes, and it's very intimate setting, very chill. And guess what? It's free. You don't got to pay. I mean, they just always try to encourage you to buy something to support the business.
Right.
Tip the barista, of course. But I definitely feel you on that.
But even to that, like it's a free one, so I've been there and there's a line out the door to perform. You know? And it's, I guess to your point, like it is cool because that's more, I've seen like ciphers go down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they used to do ciphers. I don't know if they still do it. It's been a while since I've been on a Monday. Right. They used to do it on Mondays.
Yeah, when they do the cipher kind of method, I like that versus everyone just goes and performs a song. Because then it's more competitive, more like ego and shit. Everyone's trying to fucking, the spotlight's on me,
right.
Whereas the cipher, everyone's sharing the vibe. Everyone's,
Speaking of songs, I know you've been asking me a couple questions, but I got a question for you.
Okay.
How do you feel about artists that perform with their lyrics? Like, and I'm not talking about certain parts.
They perform over the song.
They perform over the song for the majority of their song or set. I just want to hear your thoughts on that. That just came to my mind just now.
Well, like we said earlier, there's levels to this shit. And again, like if you're a young artist, because I did it when I was fucking 19, 20 years old. I first started doing shows or whatever. I would rap over my songs.
Yeah. Because
you forget your lyrics, you're super nervous. Like it's like a background vocal for you almost. Mm-hmm. But real MCs don't rap over. At least not like if you have your vocals on the hook, that's at least acceptable.
Yeah, that's a different story.
Depending on what the hook is. If the hook is just bar, sometimes you should not do it. Like depending on how the hook is styled. I think it's forgivable, obviously, but as a real MC, you're supposed to rap on the beat. You're supposed to give a live performance of what you did in the booth.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
And again, was I always at this level? No. When I first tried to make the switch from the young dude who has to rap on my songs to being a real MC, I would forget my whole verse. I would get so nervous I would like black out and fucking I'm just up there. I would have to spit a freestyle basically over the beat.
Me too.
Like, if you're a real MC, you could at least freestyle.
Yep.
But in reality and ideally, you should remember your fucking lyrics and perform the song.
That part.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, no, like I'm not mad at it per se, but it tells me where you're at as a hip hop artist.
I
like no shade, but you know what I mean?
No, I agree 100%, and I feel this literally the same exact way that you feel. Like, and I feel like if you're going to rap over your lyrics in full, you got to have energy behind it. Because oh my goodness, there's nothing worse than an artist that raps over their lyrics and it's like no energy.
And you know what fucks me up though? It's the young kids who think they're too cool to rehearse and practice and shit. Are the same kids who have to rap over their fucking songs. Nah, you gotta. Right.
To all the young jits out there, you gotta
practice, bro.
Yes.
The older you get, I feel like the more I rehearse because my memory's getting worse. You know what I mean? I'm like in here pacing around, performing my whole set, time and time over again.
We ain't gonna claim that. Nah, memory ain't getting worse. We ain't gonna claim that. No, sir.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that and we mentioned this in our when we were all here together as a group, but we have what we like to call our band director, the Mr. Donovan Wells mindset, where we rehearse and we do it over and over and over. Even as a solo artist, like once Dez sends me the set, I'm on it like white rice.
Right.
Like, because it's in my mind, it's like, all right, it's time. Because the worst thing that you can do as an artist is not rehearse, regardless if you have a set or just a song, and then you try to do it the day of, and now your mind is scrambling, as opposed to if you've had it for 2 weeks. It's like, all right, I got time to iron out the kinks, especially with us as a group. When we perform as a group, it's so crucial for us to practice as solo artists, because if we don't, when we come together, we're wasting time.
Right.
And instead of taking time to create, be more creative with our sets. Oh, we could do this here. Oh, we could do that here. All right, we can add vocals to this. Now we're trying to figure out what our verse is going to be.
No, I hear you, man. Damn, you made me think of something, and then I forgot just to the memory going.
No, not the memory.
No, yeah, I mean, you got to fucking practice. You got to practice.
Practice makes not perfect.
Almost perfect.
Practice makes
progress.
Better progress. There we go. I was thinking. I'm trying to think of the word.
Bong.
Yep. See, it's happening to me too. No, I'm too young for this.
So why you guys are performing as the Innovators for the show coming up? So I'd imagine. I was going to ask, are you performing any songs from Unapologetic? But I'm assuming no.
I can't reveal that yet.
Oh shit! Maybe I shouldn't have asked
maybe not. Hey, I mean, I might perform a song that's not on any project.
Right.
Well, I can't reveal that just yet.
Well, yeah, because I guess you guys perform as a group, but every now and then, like
we do like unreleased stuff. Yeah. I was gonna say Dez always does something unreleased. It's very rare that he does not do an unreleased song. That just be and the hilarious thing about it. And Dez gonna kill me for this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyways. Dez will do a song, and that song won't be on the project for about 3 or 4 years.
Right.
I'm gonna give
keep it in the vault.
I'm gonna give you I'll give you a lesser of an extreme of an example. So he performed a song called "Worker Man," and that's a song that he has and B Mash, aka Singer Chase.
That's what you guys with the hard hats and
shit.
Yep.
Yep. So he performed that song at least about maybe 6 months before the song actually came out. But if I'm not mistaken, he had recorded that song pretty close to a year before the song came out. Like Dez is always on his look, I'ma just make it and I put it out when I put it out.
Right.
Like,
I'm with that.
Like he's very and the reason why I say this is because and I respect him for it, he's very strategic. Like, we'll be like, Dez, you need to put that out. And he'll be like, I'll put it out when I put it out. Or, nah, it ain't the right time.
Well, yeah, you got to make a plan around this shit. You can't just be dropping shit willy nilly.
Well, and not only that, but I think he has the mindset of there are some things that he holds very sacred. And he's just like, I'm not releasing this until it's the right time. And because for me, I go ahead and drop it and say, screw it. But nope, that's why he's a supreme leader. That's why he is who he is, because he knows how to do it and when to do it and why.
And that's why you got 7 fucking albums out.
I know. but believe it or not, though, those 7 projects have been over the span since I was 17 years old to 33.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean that ain't. It's crazy. I have 7 projects out. Like there are artists that I know that are famous that don't even have 7 projects out. Like that's
right.
Wow. Praise God. That's insane.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, when you put it that way, it is. It is more than I originally thought, because I have a mixtape back when mixtapes were things.
That part.
You know what I mean? A mixtape, 2 EPs, and 2 albums.
There you go.
With a bunch of singles and shit. But yeah, I was just thinking the one album, True Reality on the Wall right there.
Right. Hey, I don't know why I just noticed that. Hey.
Yeah, that was my first like album. But
I haven't had an album yet. That's the crazy part.
Well, I was thinking that earlier when I was reading the EPLP thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's over 30 minutes and it's 7 or 8 tracks. So I think technically it's an LP.
So my question, this might be a dumb question. Hopefully it's not a dumb. Well,
whatever.
Actually, no, never mind. I answer my own question because I was gonna ask. So. But the reason why I said it was a dumb question was because technically, actually, scratch that. It's not a dumb question. So my first mixtape was clearly a mixtape.
Right.
No doubt, no questions about it. It had beats from other artists. No, I didn't steal their music. No, so I don't think that.
Yeah, mixtape's a mixtape.
But yeah.
These kids don't know about mixtapes.
Right,
today.
that's why I had to make it clear because,
Right.
Some people don't know.
Dat Piff, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
My mixtape is on Dat Piff, actually, by the way, still. Go search it, KPOD.
See, I didn't even know that.
Word. Yeah, it was called Peace of Mind.
But my second, third, and fourth projects, mainly my second and my third ones, right? So what was my second project called? Oh my goodness.
Told you that memory going, bro.
See, I know, right? My second project came out in 2012. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Okay, whatever. My third project is called Ill Minded.
Okay.
And that is definitely not a mixtape, but we call it a mixtape. I guess that could technically be an album. I guess by technicality. Because now that I'm thinking about it, because I've always said that I've released 4 mixtapes, but I think the only mixtape that was truly a mixtape was my first one. Because my other 3, you could literally call, they had 1 or 2 songs on there from like other famous artists, but for the most part it was beats from Dez or Jules or other artists. So like other like artists I've worked with.
Yeah, I don't know how the beat legality part plays into it, if that qualifies it as a mixtape versus, in more of an album.
Yeah.
But I would imagine that would have something to do with it.
I got to talk to Dez about that.
Because that's what mixtapes were traditionally. You just take all the hot industry beats at the time and you fucking do your shit on them.
Right. Yeah, that's why my first mixtape, because my first mixtape, I had a song with Jay-Z, Show Me What You Got. I did a song by Monica, Angel of Mine. I rapped over that. Oh my gosh. What was I thinking back then?
Hey, man.
DJ Khaled, Taking Over, Mobb Deep. I forgot the name of the song. I did 2 Dope Boys in the Cadillac, Outkast.
Hey.
So I did a whole bunch
I would
of
like to hear that.
rapping over there. Case and Foxy Brown, Touch Me, Tease Me. Donnell Jones, ooh, girl, you know what's up. Inside joke. If you know, you know. So yeah.
That's what's up, man. No, yeah, I definitely rapped over some beats that I shouldn't have rapped over back in my day, but
wait, shouldn't have rapped over. Give me one. You said shouldn't have rapped over. I got to hear this.
No, I'm fucking around. I rapped over like Check the Rhyme, Tribe Called Quest,
okay,
some Tupac beats. Definitely a bunch of Dr. Dre beats. I feel like that's kind of to what you were saying earlier. That's how I used to write verses back in the day.
Yeah.
I would write a verse like to a Dr. Dre beat or something, and then I would go find a non-Dr. Dre beat.
Okay.
That was like similar BPM, similar vibe, and then kind of just put the verse to that beat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because when I was in college at 20 years old, I didn't know anyone making beats. I didn't know where to get beats from.
Right, exactly.
I would just YouTube fucking hip hop instrumental.
Yep, and just kind of wing it from there.
Just vibe out.
And then even with my freestyles now, like I'll practice my freestyles, or just not really practice, but just like randomly do freestyles and stuff. What I'm starting to love doing freestyles too, random, West Coast beats.
I love some West Coast beats.
Yes, I am a West Coast. I'm starting to become a West Coast fanatic. I'm starting to love the West Coast culture of music. I love going to California, and I love just West Coast vibes.
Yeah, you talking like SoCal or like Bay Area?
SoCal. I haven't explored the Bay Area yet, although that is on my bucket list. But I've been to, of course, LA. I've been to Pasadena. Actually, the first time I ever went to California 3 years ago was in Pasadena.
Nice.
I've been to Rowan Heights, which is 45 minutes west adjacent of LA. I've been to San Diego. Shout out to my dog Ange. I've been to Sequoia Park. I saw the big old sequoia trees, and when them trees is huge.
They got that down in SoCal as well.
That's not really SoCal. That's kind of the in-between point between Northern California and Southern California.
Right.
So that's I believe Sequoia Park is about a good hour north of Bakersfield.
Okay.
And the climate in California is weird, right? Because LA, it can be beautiful, but Bakersfield is a desert. So it could literally be 70 degrees in LA. You get to Bakersfield, 110. And this is going north. You think the further north you go in the state,
right,
the cooler it gets. Not Cali.
Yeah, Cali's got desert, mountains, ocean, fucking sequoia trees.
You could literally go surfing and then go skiing in the same day if you really wanted to.
No, yeah. I'm the opposite. I've only been to like the Bay Area. I've never been to SoCal.
What was the Bay Area like?
I liked it. I mean, it's like you said, it was different. Like it was way hillier and colder than I expected. Mm-hmm. But we also went to Muir Woods, which is a redwood park. And it was fucking sick.
Nice.
I got pictures of that somewhere, but
I'm technically supposed to be in California right now. It's a skate event called Cali Slide. I was supposed to go.
Oh shit.
But I had some health stuff to take care of.
Right.
You know, health comes first. That's important.
Absolutely.
So
damn right.
I was like, dang. I said, even now I'm thinking about tomorrow's like the first night, but I was like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. Hey, I wouldn't be sitting here with you doing the podcast.
Hey, man.
Hey, screw it. It works out.
No, yeah. Before we wrap up, did you have anything else you wanted to touch on for Unapologetic?
Let's see. Unapologetic. I think I touched bases on that. Just when it comes out, it'll be on streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp. I think the only thing I want to touch on with that is I hope you guys enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed creating it. It's always a fun creative process with my boys. And just remember, at the end of the day, be unapologetically you. Don't worry about what other people think.
Damn right.
Yeah, I would. If it was out, I would play one of the songs. I like to put like a song before the episode, the audio shit. But yeah, I'll just play one of your other joints.
No, it's all good. It's all good. What else was I about to say? Once again, shameless plug. I guess I gotta put the shameless plugs in real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Tell them where to find you at and all that.
You can find me on Instagram, A.C.T. Real MC. That is A.C.T. Real EMCEE. Yes, I'm an MC. I represent hip hop. You know how it is. You can follow my music group, the Innovators Music Group, on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Also, I do content creation on YouTube. I didn't talk about it too much, but I have a motivational channel called Teachable Tuesdays.
You're always welcome back, brother.
I appreciate it. We'll talk about that next time. But yeah, Teachable Tuesdays. You can check that out on YouTube. I do have a Teachable Tuesdays Instagram as well. That's in the works. So if you happen to log in and it's not up yet, it will be up and ready to go by the end of the year. Other than that, yeah, I said the Gemini Project got beats. Talked about them. Making sure I don't miss anybody. Make sure you follow kPod. Please don't forget. Shout out to him. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be on this podcast. So, other than that, I think that's about it. And once again, come out to the show.
Yeah, we'll see you November 22nd.
November 22nd. And if you happen to see this after the show, maybe because you just caught it late, stay tuned and check out the next one. Oh, one more thing. Soul Solid Force. That's our group's YouTube channel. But other than that, I think that's about it.
Oh, yeah. No, and I'll tag in like the description of the episode, I'll tag all the pages and shit like that so people can find you guys.
Perfect.
I always try to put on for the crew, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, reminder, man, follow not only these fellas, but follow the show at The Real K Podcast. Hit the email, therealkpodcast@gmail.com. And as always, man, stay safe, stay smart, stay sexy, and stay motherfucking tuned. Episode 106 of the K Podcast. We out of here.
Much love. God bless y'all.
The K Podcast.
That's a wrap. Sayonara.